And to take the children away from its natural mother is the most appalling thing that can be done to any woman. In the family law courts of very subjective Section 47 reports, resulting in the removal of children from the custody of their mother in appalling circumstances, where they were ordered by the court to enter the classroom. I know.
Deputy, that is a specific case you're referring to, and you're making allegations about subjective reports, where now there is a division in relation to this House and the courts. So,
removal of the children in that callous fashion, and placing them in the custody of their other parent, who was previously,
Deputy, you're out of order.
The mothers have been separated from their children, have been subjected to appalling indifference and callousness by the system. I think it's important to bring them to the attention of the House and to the Minister, whatever the issues are, even though the House may say, well, this is a matter for the courts, you have to bring it right to the courts. That's not our function. That's not our function in this House. Our function in this House is to raise in the House something that appears to be going wrong. There were situations in this country in the past where issues were raised in the House and against the rule, as it were, with huge opposition, that ultimately ended up in major inquiries, serious inquiries, involving a whole lot of people. It would have been far better to have dealt with them originally. And I finish again by simply drawing to Section 47. Minister, it needs to be dealt with, and it needs to be dealt with soon, because there will be a tragedy. The level of emotion, trauma, and the coldness of what surrounds a mother when she is told that she doesn't matter in this business, or that if she does matter, only in a way decided by somebody else. And if the matters, the activities of Mr. Sheehan, Jim Sheehan, in the courts are allowed to continue, there will be serious consequences. The position now remains, I think, for TUSLA to exert itself in such a way as to ensure that, without doubt, we are absolutely assured of its intention to preserve in all circumstances and assert the rights of the child in these particular circumstances, where mothers are even prevented from meeting with the children and are subject to the most appalling hardship and disregard in terms of the children's rights, the children's entitlements and their own rights. I wish to raise again the issue of the continued persecution and prosecution of Irish mothers and their children in the family law courts, resulting in many cases in arrest and imprisonment.
Thank you, Deputy. You've raised this matter, and I've repeatedly pointed out to you, I'm going to let the Taoiseach come in, I've repeatedly pointed out to you the separation of powers, and you're raising serious allegations that cross the border.
Over the past 6 months, I've repeatedly raised the question on the plight of a large number of women who, throughout the length and breadth of this country, who find themselves subjected to extraordinary abusive situations, whereby, in many cases, they are not allowed to meet or see their children except by telephone, where nothing appears to be happening as a matter of urgency, where something must happen as a matter of urgency. Otherwise, this House is actually turning its back on the women who are mothers who are being subject to this treatment. So, I have had brought to my attention in recent times the concern of a fairly considerable cohort of women who are mothers, who find themselves in a situation that their children are removed from them, not because they were a bad mother or that they had a bad home, but for other reasons, and are the victims in terms of referral to the system, through the system, through numerous hearings, whereby they acknowledge that they will not have attention brought to their concerns that they have brought to the attention of the appropriate authorities. But I'm asking you, Minister, at this particular stage, to please recognise this problem exists. Thursday, I bring to the attention of the House the scandalous situation of the treatment of women who are mothers who are going through the family law courts, wherein their rights are being abolished virtually, where under the in-camera rule they're being subject to the kind of abuse that was used in prisoner of war camps in years gone by, and which is totally alien to the Irish Constitution, the Irish justice system, and in fact human rights. I have referred this information to the ministers, relevant ministers, Justice and Children, but it would appear to me now that at least a preliminary inquiry should be carried out to ascertain the full extent of what is happening before it reaches the serious consequences of a major national scandal.